Hatching greatness. The idea for this video came that people don't always start out great. People aren't always in the right place at the right time with the right connections, and it doesn't always start out the way that it seems at the end result. The finished product that you're looking around and seeing from people is not how it started. Greatness is a process that takes time. It's a process that can be so frustrating and full of doubt and not knowing exactly what you're doing, but breaking through these barriers is vital to hatch your greatness. You must first develop something on the inside of you, something on the inside that's greater than the barriers that enclose you. And until that thing on the inside gets more powerful, gets stronger than what's on the outside, a breakthrough will not happen. This greatness inside of you has to be developed. If you feel enclosed, if you feel trapped by your surroundings and you're surrounded by this mediocrity and you're trying to get out and break out into greatness, it's kind of like an egg hatching. It's kind of like you're trying to work at something and get a crack at it. And finally, when you get to that point where you break through, you've been working so hard and now you've made a hole. And you make a hole of breakthrough, and you can see outside, you can see the greatness. And what's so amazing about it is it inspires you. But at the same time, I get that breath of fresh air and I realize that I'm still inside the egg. I realize that I only have this big of a hole to breathe through, and it starts to get a little bit claustrophobic because I can't breathe in here for too long. And when I see that moment, when I have that flash of greatness, I realize that I have to get a way out of here. I have to figure out how to get out, and I have to figure out how to hatch so I can get into this next realm. And that's the frustrating part, is when the thing on the inside is bigger than the thing on the outside. It's so frustrating because I don't know how to get it out. And what's even more frustrating is nobody else knows what I'm working on. Nobody else understands what I'm going through and what I'm working on because they can't see it. The biggest problem is I don't really know if it's working because it's something that I'm working on and nobody else understands. So it's me trying to figure out if what I'm doing is working, and I see what I want, but I don't know how to get there. Anything that you're willing to spend the time to develop and work on and really ultimately change comes from a place of discontent. It comes from a place of, I don't want to be where I'm at anymore. I want to change. So now I'm willing to work on it. Now I'm willing to develop it. Don't despise the barriers and the obstacles that you have, because they're there for a purpose. They're there to get you to understand that there's a greatness inside of me that I need to find. Anything that you want to develop, anything that you want to get better at is going to come with barriers and obstacles. And that's the cool part about life, is that's what creates change. Change only comes when you're not satisfied with where you are now. So when you think about the barriers, when you think about the obstacles, let me just take a second and thank all of these situations and people and things that hurt me for giving me the toughness to get to the next level. I thank every door that was closed. I thank every person that rejected me, every person that laughed at me for what I was trying to do and what I was trying to accomplish, because you made me strong. You gave me the guts and the courage to stand up for something that I really wanted, because I knew that I didn't want to be mediocre. I knew that I didn't want to be like everyone else I saw around me, and I knew that I didn't want to treat people that way. So when I saw that, when I got that obstacle and that looked like a barrier at the very beginning, it looked like, oh, I can't do this because other people think I can't. Oh, I can't do this because I'm surrounded by this and that, and I have all these thoughts in my head. But I realized that those barriers are the things that made me change. Those barriers are the things that gave me the strength to break out of the mediocrity that I was in, and now I can see what it takes to be great. It's not what happened to you, it's how you look at what happened to you, and you're going to choose what to do with that power. Either you're going to revert back into your shell, into mediocrity and into what's comfortable, or you're going to use that as fuel, use that as strength to break past those barriers, break out of your mediocrity, and step into greatness. If you are really committed, to hatching your greatness and to stepping into the next level of what you are truly capable of, the first thing you have to do is understand the process and fall in love with the process. Because if you don't fall in love with the process, you're going to give up on yourself way too soon. If you are committed to being great, you have to understand that being comfortable is not an option. Being comfortable means you stay inside the parameters of what you're used to, and it means that those barriers that stop you are still having a hold on your life, and you've got to find a way to, one, identify those barriers. What are the things that are holding you back from greatness? And two, you have to figure out how to break out of those barriers, and that's not going to be comfortable. Picking away at your insecurities, picking away at the things that deteriorate you and your personality and things that paralyze you from being who you want to be, those things have to go. Those things cannot stay with you for you to become great, and you have to know that to be the best version of yourself, you need to get rid of those things. Thanks for watching today, guys. Remember that greatness is a process. It's something that has to be hatched. It's something that has to be pulled out of you and from your internal struggles and from the things that you've gone through. That's how your greatness is going to come out on the outside, and that's the fuel that you're going to use to help the rest of the world with your talents. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe down below so you never miss a video with me again.